Hey, what's up? Ryan Kohler here, founder of Applicant Pro, CEO of Refer.io. And dude, this is the lead magnet newsletter. This newsletter is designed to help salespeople who would prefer not to be cold calling, door knocking, disruptive salespeople. And I'm guessing that's probably you, because I honestly don't know a lot of salespeople who love cold calling and disrupting people and having to convince them that they should pay attention to them. It's just that that's how it's always been done. And so that's how it's taught. And, you know, especially if you care, if you have empathy for your customers and your prospects, then you recognize that you also wouldn't want to be disrupted like that. It actually is why a lot of people, especially females, don't want to get into sales. It has all this upside potential of earning potential and unlimited income and all those great things that you were told about sales. Then you get in there and you realize, oh man, it's a bunch of like dirty work, disruptive work, work that you would never wish upon yourself if you were on the other side of the transaction. And the reason for that is that most sales organizations are structured to be outbound, disruptive prospecting organizations. It's just in their DNA. It's how they've always done it. It's how it's always been done. It's how your manager did it when they were starting out in sales. And therefore, it's kind of the sales thing. Now, we look at it and say, man, we wish we had inbound hot leads, but that requires us to depend on the marketing team because we're salespeople, we're not marketers. But that entire concept is kind of flawed. It, it assigns some like magical gift and power to marketers to be able to attract leads. And then even if you do assign that power to them, most marketing teams are fairly ineffective at doing it. And the reason why is because, especially in the B2B space, when you're targeting businesses, whether it's business owners or employees that work for a business, that normal kind of like retail, social marketing, product hype type approach doesn't work. You see, because B2B buyers are looking to solve a business problem. They're not just looking to buy a fad. And so marketing doesn't work. And so even the leads they get you are just as bad as if you cold call them. So my goal is to help teach salespeople how to be able to be, let's call it demand managers, the ability to generate demand, generate inbound, excited, hot, interested leads that actually want you to call them. That's kind of the goal. Now, you might ask, well, how do I get there and why do I know how to do this? Look, I started out in sales as well and then became an entrepreneur. And I decided, look, I wanted to build my organization at Applicant Pro. We went from 1 employee to 300 to $35 million a year in revenue to 10,000 clients, and we made no cold calls. We were targeting human resource professionals. We were selling them software platforms, and we were able to do that 100% on inbound warm leads. But that required me as the boss to be dedicated to that idea of we would bring in all the leads. And it allowed me to then hire support people into my sales job who just deeply understood the client, who deeply understood our product, and would honestly just love them into buying. And so if you hear hardcore closer and, you know, that kind of concept that you need to become this like pushy, aggressive, always closing, ask all the time kind of person who's on their toes and has commission breath and that's offensive to you, then you come to the right place. So the goal of this newsletter, of our podcast, of our video, of all that stuff is to teach and enable you the right way to approach this so that over time you can build a powerful magnet that attracts leads to you, that has those leads come in excited, interested, already knowing you, that you've already started to build up credibility, that you have an easier job closing, not because you're just this hardcore closing person, but because you built up credibility and demand up front, and the leads are just much more qualified. So if this sounds like something you want to do, subscribe to our channel, make sure you're receiving our newsletter, make sure you move it over to your priority inbox so that you'll always see it, and then tune in. I'm going to teach you step-by-step, number one, how to approach this, how to think about it, the strategy behind it. Number two, I'm going to show you step-by-step the process to implement it. Number three, I'm going to show you how to make amazing content with AI tools that will be better than your marketing team, but take you a fraction of the time. And then next, I'm going to teach you how to distribute that content, how to get it in front of all the right people. And finally, how to build call to actions that will get people raising their hand and saying, hey, please talk to me, to bring them into your sphere where you can then run your normal flow. You can do your needs audit, you can do your sales pitch, you can follow up, all that stuff you normally do, only just with a much better probability of closing because the leads are so much better. So Thanks so much for attending. Thanks so much for watching. Hey, if you have any questions, shoot me an email, heyryan@refer.io. I'd love to hear from you. Make sure you like and comment and subscribe, and otherwise, we'll talk to you soon.